Hey guys, it's Justin, and coming to you here on a nice Tuesday afternoon. And I actually had a request here recently. I was talking to a buddy of mine on Facebook who I met through a Facebook group, and we he was asking me about my favorite Beach Boys albums, and he had recently watched my tributes video, and I can't remember your name offhand right now. I'm sorry, but I will put that in the info when I post this. Whom it was, and I appreciate you suggesting something. So, anyways, um, he had watched my last video and said, well, you have your top five favorite Beach Boy tributes. What's your top five favorite Beach Boy albums? Which is really tough. And I responded saying, kind of like what Brian Wilson said on the classics selected by Brian Wilson thing, liner notes. He said, I could pick 20 today, but, tomorrow it'd be a different story. And it may be, this and this and this. It may be Friends and Heroes and Villains and We're Together Again and Do It Again. Or tomorrow maybe, Vegetables and In My Room and Let Us Go On This Way, So that's the same with me. I just can't pick five albums. These guys have like over 30 albums. I mean, and if you put out, if you include some bootlegs and greatest hits and whatnots here and there. But, so here's my top five, no particular order, because that would be even tougher. But it's like, I felt like I had to pick some from each genre of Beach Boys, but like each, generation of it, which is even tougher. So in the order I'm going chronological, just out of habit. So I'd say Surfer Girl is my one of my top favorites. It's just such a good album, and as Made in California box set, noticed today or when it released, it had a lot from the Surfer Girl album, and someone pointed out, okay, that must be, this is Brian's first production, so of the whole album. So it totally makes sense that this would be, selected by me and selected to choose a lot of tracks for the box set. It's just, and as you're hearing in the background, I'm sorry, I meant to say, I'm listening to the Song Cycle by Van Dyke Parks, the one that was released on Record Store Day last year. So I haven't listened to it in quite a while, and it's just a good one. So anyway, and I've done a video on that, so if you haven't seen me do a video on that, then go back and find it. I believe it's on one of my earlier updates and reviews. So anyway, about Surfer Girl, it's just, it's like Brian coming into his own, and the production is just so great. Catch a Wave is fantastic, of course, Lil Deuce Coupe. Surfer Girl is, of course, one of the greatest ballads ever. The Surfer Moon is Brian, working on his own, stacking his vocals. It's great. I love the instrumentals on this, especially Boogie Woody. Your Summer Dreams, really good. Hardcore Club, I love the drums on that. Good stuff. Surfers Ruled, very fun. Hawaii, of course, is great surfing song. And In My Room. It's just an all-around just great album, and I have it in really good condition, or in my opinion, good condition. A little worn up there, and I don't know if that means it's been a re-release or not. I'm not good at these types of things. And then moving on, it was really hard for me not to pick Pet Sounds or Today, but I guess just recently I've just been really appreciative of All Summer Long. It's like the last guitar Beach Boys album, in which guitar was heavily featured on the album, and as opposed to Brian's, Today and Summer Days, where it was a lot of more big productions like Spectre, which he was getting into on this album with I Get Around, All Summer Long, Little Honda, Windy, and Don't Back Down. But it's just such a good album. everything's just really good. The great cover of Hushabye. I've always loved All Summer Long, the song. Little Honda is just great. Great guitar track. Will Run Away is one of my favorite Gary Usher, Brian Wilson collaborations. I like Carl's Big Chance, it's alright. Kind of signifying the last of the Surfer instrumentals. Windy, of course, is one of my all-time favorites. It's just such a good song. Do You Remember is great. Great about, rock and roll memories. Girls on the Beach, even though it's a retread of Surfer Girl, it's still really good. I love those harmonies. Drive In, which was always fun to hear Brian perform in concert around the Brian Wilson's Smile days. And it came in this sleeve, so I'm not exactly sure if it's re-release or what, because it has Today on there. So I'm not sure which it's, when it came out, and maybe it just came out with that sleeve later on, I'm not sure. Moving on, we skip ahead in Beach Boys years to 1968, and Friends is just one of those albums that I don't know. I'd always heard really great things about the album before I got it, and let me get the record out here, and it's just an all cohesive album that just sounds all alike, and it's just so darn good. I really wish the Alternative Meant for You was on here because it would really fit in, I think, in my opinion. But you got the guys really working together hard on this. A little less Mike than usual, but you got Dennis and Al and Carl helping write. Wake the World's so much fun. Love the tuba part. Be Here in the Morning. I remember putting Wake the World and Be Here in the Morning on a morning compilation tape I once made. When a Man Needs a Woman. They make things like you, my son. And even passing by of how basic it is, it's still really, I always really enjoyed it. Of course, Friends Side 2 kicked off with Annalie the Healer, which I always enjoyed. Little Bird, of course, Dennis and Steve Kalinich, along with Be Still, which was really good. Busy Doing Nothing, which I recently had heard Marilyn's voice, Brian's wife, on there, which is really awesome. I was really excited when I first heard that. And Transcendental Meditation, of course, is, I like it. It's a good jam. Diamond Head is a really good instrumental. Moving on, we have Holland, and I've always been a big fan of this. I'm always thinking about it, how, it could have been with We Got Love instead of Sail on Sailor. Got the lyrics here, and I always enjoyed the back. It doesn't have the record in order, but by who wrote what, and it's just a really good album. I even like, Leaving This Town is probably my favorite Ricky Fataar and Blondie Chaplin song that they did. I love the solo, and I think Mike helped write with that. No, I'm wrong as usual. But Mike did, California Saga, helped with lyrics. Funky Pretty's great lyrics. And The Traitor was also really good. By Carl, it's one of his best. And then you got Brian. Of course, Denny, I wouldn't leave him out. Steamboat and Only With You. Carl's great vocals on both of those. Mount Vernon Fairway, Brian did, and Funky Pretty and Sail on Sailor, all really good. Pretty unique pictures and a unique setup for the back of an album. And the lyrics don't really have anything special. Some special thanks and some descriptions on additional lyrics by Mike Love on Leaving This Town, so I was right. And I knew Jack Riley helped with that, so there's that. Holland is just another one of those just albums, just complete, thought. Even Sail on Sailor works. It may be out of place, to some, sound out of place, but it just works all together. And I just totally enjoy that album. I know a lot of people do. And of course, I had to put That's Why God Made the Radio. I've been really enjoying it lately. Been listening to it on vinyl. Um, just such a really good album, and I don't know if you could say it's underrated or not or overrated, but in my opinion,